Welcome. Today we're going to talk to you about the SARS virus. This is just a short informative video about what SARS is, where it comes from, what it does and what it's doing now. Here I'll pass you over to my colleague Ash, who will talk to you about just what SARS really is.
SARS is a virus. A virus is a non-living biological entity that exists in almost all environments throughout the world. SARS is an acronym for the disease it causes, severe acute respiratory syndrome. The virus itself is composed of a spherical envelope with an AN protein code encapsulated in a single-stranded RNA genome. The virus also has glycoprotein spikes on the outside. The genome is one of the largest RNA genomes of all viruses, with about 30,000 base pairs.
It's certain types of bats and cats that are carriers of the SARS virus, and in 2003 it was the cave-dwelling horseshoe bat that caused the 2003 epidemic. The 2003 epidemic was initially spread by a Chinese doctor treating patients in Guangdong, but then he travelled to Hong Kong and stayed in a hotel where he developed symptoms, and 10 of the other people around his hotel also developed them. Later on he died in the hotel, but before the other people developed symptoms they ended up travelling to Singapore, Canada, USA and Australia. The SARS virus has been extensively studied in an attempt to assess its risk to humans in the future. Studying has shown that its natural host originally was the masked palm civet cat. It was also found in cave-dwelling horseshoe bats. During research to see if Chinese herbs combined with Western medicine would be effective against SARS, it was found that 2 herbs may improve symptoms, 5 herbs may improve lung efficiency, 3 herbs may improve quality of life for the SARS patient, and 1 herb may shorten the length of stay in the hospital for the SARS patient. The conclusion of this research was that Chinese herbs combined with Western medicines don't make any difference.
SARS is transmitted by close person-to-person contact, such as by coughing or by your hands or sharing of items such as cups. And therefore, high levels of personal hygiene can break this transmission. If you do catch the virus, then after about 10 days you will start to feel unwell, maybe have rigors, fever higher than 38 degrees C, cough or breathlessness. However, symptoms are variable from person to person. If you do not get SARS diagnosed and treated early, then you'll develop more breathlessness and your lungs will undergo damage, and your alveoli especially. To diagnose it, as I've already said, symptoms are variable, therefore a doctor cannot conclusively tell you that you have SARS, therefore they usually use lab techniques. As coronaviruses are really difficult to culture, the most common method is testing through antibodies.
The SARS virus infects the cell through a process called receptor-mediated endocytosis. This is a process we will later on explain in the video. After this process has occurred, the virus is in a structure called an endosome. Here the virus is encoded, releasing a single-stranded RNA genome. This can be used directly as a positive sense mRNA, coding for viral proteins which can be assembled into new viruses, or the positive sense mRNA can be used to code for negative mRNA, which can then be used to package with the proteins to produce viruses with the RNA genome in.
Whilst the SARS virus has pretty much been contained since the 2003 epidemic, it's important that research into the disease continues. It is particularly important that research into a vaccine, be it a preventative or a treatment vaccine, continues. Work on developing a vaccine was underway during the SARS virus, but it seems to have stopped as there is currently no public vaccine available. It can take a long time to take a vaccine from initial idea to production, and especially now that the SARS virus is not so prevalent, it may be that it's of a lower priority to develop a vaccine for this disease. And more work is probably going into other diseases that are more deadly or more widespread than SARS. However, it would be useful for research into a SARS vaccine to continue in case it brings new discoveries and new treatments for other new diseases that may be arising, that may be more deadly or more virulent than the SARS virus. For example, a new coronavirus has recently been discovered in the Middle East, although only 2 patients have been confirmed of carrying this new virus. One of these patients has died, sadly, however the other one is still being treated for the disease. Unfortunately though, it seems that the new coronavirus is not as contagious as SARS, as 0 of the 64 close contacts to one of these patients did not catch the disease.
Thank you for watching our short video today. I hope you feel like you've learned something. If you'd like to learn a little bit more, check out some of these resources.